Mr. Scotty, a couple questions people have been asking me, and I already touched on it a little bit with you, but I just wanted to ask you in front of everybody.
Mr. Eaton, I would just ask, are these questions that are things that can be discussed publicly? Are they personnel issues or things that can be
Well,
discussed?
I'm sure it'll inform you if you can.
Okay.
But as far as the BoS report goes, you know his actual rank, Lieutenant BoS, Lieutenant Colonel BoS. There seems to be some disagreement on what his position is.
I always know him as no rank.
No rank? Okay. Is he, what was his profession? What is his profession? Can you tell people?
Well, he's an attorney.
Okay.
As far as I know, he's always been an attorney. We can always go and find out. I mean, I don't know his personally, know all his background. I'm sure it's available.
So if people are saying he's a lieutenant colonel, former lieutenant colonel in the state police, that's not true.
Not to my knowledge. No.
Okay, all right. Okay, kind of ruins my question, I guess. Apparently, when the arbitrator was making his decision, he chose to rehire Fox before he made the decision. And can you just explain a little bit why he made that decision?
I already did that. I think it was the last meeting.
I know, just for everybody to say.
Well, I think it was everybody before, but essentially I reviewed all of the documentation, all of the evidence, talked to everybody who was involved in the decision-making process at that time. I mentioned during that meeting that my focus was looking at fairness and partiality and equity that was going on at that time to make the best decision. And at any point during that, I felt that there was something that needed to be corrected on the group. So I found that and I did.
Any kind of official review going on with those who report, and just to verify credibility, not just Fox's credibility, but those whose credibility as well, since there seems to be some discrepancy about his background.
Today, no.
So there's nothing ongoing right now looking into that report.
Well, I mean, obviously, I reviewed those reports and continue to review them, but that's the extent of it right now.
Okay. I started the news website because Scott Roma, I know is a good man. He was being treated unfairly in the media, and when I came back to Ashland from out west working, I wanted to start the website so I could bring some balance to it and bring the real story, whatever it was. I thought by just pursuing the truth of everything, it would fall in line with Scott Roma. I was wrong about that. Scott Roma is a very good guy, but there's another factor involved, and it's a reoccurring theme every single issue that seems to come up. And that's Ed Componio, who's involved in everything. Some of the things Scott Rome is accused of, Ed Componio right there the whole time. He's, this town's kind of torn itself apart a little bit. And what is the one way to get a town or a community to tear itself apart? It's what we all basically forced to learn in school, the Salem witch trials. False accusations. The dangerous, destructiveness that comes from false allegations and rumors.
Mr. Eaton?
And that's been going on a lot now. I just want to set this straight for the
Well,
town.
I'm going to give you about another minute unless there's another question, only because we do have an appointment at 7:15. If you'd like, you can stay and we can put some more citizen participation a little later in the evening, but we do have some other people waiting.
Okay.
So unless you have an immediate question that you can answer.
I do. Ms. Bruce, what's your plan as chairwoman to, make sure things go right at the police station, make sure integrity's high, and make sure officers are performing in a professional way, in an honest way? Do you have a plan as chairwoman? Are you involved in any of that?
I think we as a board have made that decision by hiring Anthony Sciabi as our town manager, and then is the police commissioner.
Yeah.
I feel very confident that he is going to be bringing in the right people and doing the correct reviews and working with the interim police chief and the future police chief to work with our police department that integrity. I
But,
mean, the integrity is there within many of our police officers,
well, it's lacking in some areas.
in some, but I think many of our police officers do have integrity.
Well, the problem is
It's
when
just now
people,
bringing the leadership and moving that forward.
okay. I just want to say that, you know, the problem as I see it are the people that are doing jobs as officials, they have other people's lives in their hands. You know, if they make a mistake, if they're not sharp on the scene, they can make a mistake, they could arrest the wrong person, you know? Don't depend on the prosecutors to try and straighten it out. A lot of police make frivolous charges and depend on the courts to straighten it out. That's wrong. With the misconduct that seems to be apparent that happened at the police station, my thoughts are, a lot of these people are more concerned about things that aren't important. You know, they're more important, they're more like concerned about, I don't know how to word this correctly, but, you know, they're more concerned about being sexually immoral. They're more concerned about things
I'm going
like
to stop you right there.
how many likes they have on their Facebook page.
I'm going to stop you right there.
That's my concern
And I hear your
about the
concern.
personnel of the police department.
And I hear that concern. I think we as a board have heard that there are concerns. And like I said, I feel very confident that with Tony Sciatti in place, working with the current interim chief, things are being looked at. It's a constant review. You can't change the culture in any department overnight. You have to work with the people, you have to bring the correct people in place. And I have every confidence that we're going to find the right police chief and that with our current interim chief, those kinds of things are already being addressed and are being looked at.
Should the chief be able to drug test officers, in your opinion?
I'm not going to answer that, and I think at this point, we do need to move on to our first appointment.
Well, that's a valid
Like to
question.
say,
People, I think people would like, you know, an answer to that. That's a pretty basic
I don't think I
question.
personally can answer that question for you right this minute sitting here. Because I have not
Because,
thought about that. and I
Mr.
don't
Scabby,
think
because right now
it's
currently,
something
the chief cannot do that under the union contract, correct?
I haven't looked at it either, I would think not, but I haven't looked at it.
Right. In your opinion, do you think you should?
So I don't want to
be
give my opinion over something until I have a chance to review it for myself, so.
Well, there's not much to review, sir. It's just that you're not allowed to drug test
We'll
officers.
move on.
Yeah, you know what, Josh, if you have other questions for us, I would ask that you can email them to the board.
That's fine. I don't understand why you won't answer a pretty simple question. I mean, even low-level construction laborers, everybody has to take a drug test. I don't see why police
There's
officers should
different
have
ways
to
of
take a
working
drug
things,
test.
unfortunately.
Excuse me?
I said there are different ways of things that have to be handled. So,
You know, it just bothers me that you seem to be afraid to
Josh,
speak
Yes,
against
there's a
the
CBA
CBA.
there's a CBA that's intact right now with the town and the union. Okay, and it's not in, that's the answer you're looking for. It's not in,
Right.
Mr. Sciarri's correct. It's not in there, it has to be negotiated. End of story.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. But you, none of you will offer your opinion whether you think they should be or not. Mr. Mitchell, do you think they should be able to be tested?
I think it's something that needs to be negotiated, and I think at this point, we're beyond the point of our first appointment. We'll have to ask you to come back, you can see welcome to stay. We'll have an opportunity later on, Josh, to articulate.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.